Dallas weren't on the same page.
Yeah, my mindset there was we got to stay as aggressive as possible on offense. We had to try to make a play, get something going, and from my vantage point, it just looked like Carson and Dallas were not synced up. It was a play we had used in the third quarter. They connected on it, and it appeared that Dallas turned inside. Carson threw it outside where Dallas was on the first time we called the play. So just a matter of just those two guys being on the same page. But as far as the decision to go, we had to make every effort to stay and really get us into this game, and just wanted to stay as aggressive as possible.
Bo and then Dave Zangaro.
Doug, there was a 4-game stretch this season where Travis Fulgham was the leading receiver in the NFL. Since the bye, it doesn't seem like he's been a big part of the game plan. What have you seen from Alshon Jeffrey that had him on the field more than Fulgham tonight?
Well, I think, Travis is, he's still a part of the offense, and he knows he's got to continue to work hard each week and play well. And Alshon is improving and getting healthier. And, we've got to be able to use both of those guys as two big targets. For Carson, and we just got to continue to work and make sure that both guys are ready to go.
Dave and then Kristen Rogers.
Doug, was the plan coming in tonight to use Jalen Hurts more, and if so, why didn't that happen?
Not necessarily. The plan was to use him when we could. The way the game started, we just didn't have many opportunities. Too many 3-and-outs. I don't think we got a first down until the second quarter. We just didn't. We failed to execute, so it just wasn't. It just wasn't, in the cards, I guess, so to speak. Early in the football game, but no more, no less than what we would, use them each week.
Kristen and then Jeff McLean.
Hey, Doug, can you explain the rotation between Hurts and Wentz? It feels like maybe it would be a challenge for either one of those guys to find some consistency when one's in for one play, then the other, and then vice versa.
Yeah, that's it is a challenge for quarterbacks to do that. But from an offensive perspective, if we can have a little change of pace there, with Jalen and mix things up, whether we're running it or throwing it. I thought the guys, tonight for the few plays that Jalen was in, they handled it well. It's just something we'll continue to work on. But it can be a little bit difficult, for either one of the quarterbacks, unless they can get, multiple snaps. But that just didn't happen. We were too many 3-and-outs.
Jeff and then Mike Kay.
Doug, I know defense isn't more your side, but what was the plan Jim's plan, I guess, against DK Metcalf, and what'd you think of, what he did versus Slay?
Well, DK is a great, big target. He's a good receiver. D. Slay, matched up with him all night long and battled and made some plays, and DK made some plays. So, I thought overall he did some good things. Played tough. I mean, that's a tough receiver to defend, and one that I thought D. Slay did some good things.
Mike and then Zach Berman.
Doug, when Jalen Reagor was coming out and you guys selected him, you put an emphasis on speed. Why do you think you haven't been able to utilize that speed more in your play calling, or at least on the, with completions down the field this season?
Well, some of it could be scheme. Some of it could be, Jalen still learning and understanding what is asked of him. He continues to improve each week, and we still find ways to try to get him in space. We did it a couple times tonight, and that's just the thing is, there's also a lot of speed on defense. I think sometimes people forget that, we do our part to as coaches to try to find ways, creative ways to do that. We did it with a little reverse with him tonight. We did a couple of receiver screens, or a receiver screen to him. He had one critical mistake on a red zone play that we were going to throw him a screen. He made a mistake there. So we just got to keep working and, battle through it.
Zach and then Martin Frank.
Hey, Doug, you seem to suggest that the lack of offensive rhythm was why Hurts was not more involved early. But isn't that, I guess, can't that be a reason to play Hurts more?
No,
And why not?
because it's not about one guy. We had breakdowns across the board, and it doesn't really matter, who's back there. The mistakes were still going to be made, and something we got to fix.
Martin and Rob Mattei.
Hey, Doug, when you did have Jalen in there the first time, you took Carson off the field, and I was kind of curious as to what kind of advantage you think that gives you without Carson being on the field, and also when you put him back in, the next time, Carson was on the field, and that was like a handoff to Miles. Just kind of like the difference, I guess, between, Carson being on and off the field when Hurts is in the game.
Listen, when Jalen's been on the field with Carson, defenses have been playing it a certain way. And as we have evaluated, those two together, putting Jalen on the field by himself, presents a little bit different picture for the defense. So that's why we did it. That's why we did it tonight. But I think we can still get some mileage out of using both quarterbacks, and then also Jalen as the quarterback, by himself.
Rob and then Ed Kratz.
Doug, Miles Sanders had 5 carries in the first half. Obviously, you were going up against the worst pass defense in the league. Was that part of the factor why he wasn't running as much in the first half, is that you were trying to attack that defense, or is it what they were giving you?
I just think they, got after us a little bit in the run game and got on some edges. We missed their safety a couple of times, and we had to make some adjustments. But we knew probably going into this game that we were at least going to have to put the ball in the air, to give ourselves a chance. It's a good rush defense, and it's a good front, and they did a nice job.
We have time for 2 more, so we'll go Ed Kratz and then Les.
Hey, hi, Doug. You mentioned earlier, you didn't have your first down until the second quarter. I think there was less than 5 minutes ago. It's not the first time that's happened this year. I think it was the Ravens as well. If the first down came late, why do you think? Can you put a finger on why that hasn't been fixed? Why this team continues to struggle to score in the first half or even pick up first downs?
I think it just comes down to offensively we've battled with a lot of injury, a lot of different moving parts up front with the offensive line, guys in and out. It's just we haven't had the consistency and the continuity that you would like week in and week out. That you look at offenses around the league that have stayed together and have stayed healthy. There's continuity and there's consistency there, and we just haven't had that this season. And it's something that we don't make excuses for it. It's where we are, and we have to get better.
Last question here with Les.
That kind of played into what I was going to ask, Doug, but I'll ask it in a slightly different way. Why are these week 12? Why are guys not on the same page? Obviously Dallas Goedert and Carson Wentz have played together a lot. How do these mistakes keep happening?
I mean, it just comes down to each guy, just doing his job and not doing too much. And sometimes when you get in these situations, you try to do too much, and it's just a matter of not chasing plays, but making the plays when they come to you. And we're going to continue to work, and we're not going to make excuses for anything. And we got another ball game here in a couple of days, and we got to get some of this corrected and move on.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.